Hi, Conscious Mothers. It's Honor here. Today we're talking about this idea, this drive that we have as mothers to do it all alone. This idea that we have to figure it out by ourselves. And I'm going to give you a little bit of my history and a bit of a personal share about my past of really believing that I had to figure things out myself and what that created for me on a day-to-day basis in motherhood. And I'm going to share with you also the realization I had about what was holding me back. So my intention for today is to connect with you and for my heart to connect with your heart, and for my truth to awaken you to yours. That is always my highest intention, and that whatever we co-create here will be for the highest good for all involved. That means you, me, my family, your family, and the planet. So as we kick off, again, the topic for today is I think usually it manifests as I'm probably not going to get the help that I want and that I need. So why bother even asking? That's one way it manifests. Or I feel like such a nag. All I do is say, I need this done. Can you get this done? And there's brewing resentment, anger, grudges, holding grudges, the tape loop, running, keeping track of all the things that I've asked that haven't been done. Raise your hand if any of this strikes a chord with you when you listen. Hi guys, thanks for joining. I'm glad you're here. Do you ever find yourself in a situation, or have you in the past, where you are clear about what needs to get done, what you want to get done in terms of creating this smooth family life, that flow that you're wanting, that deep sense of rest and relaxation that you're craving, that we're all craving, so that we are present with our kids, so that we don't miss the sweetest years with them, so that we don't continue to drift farther apart from our spouses, and wind up living totally separate lives, whether that's finalized with divorce and separate houses, or whether we go on coexisting in living separate lives, kind of tiptoeing around issues in the same house. So I know all these things are happening for people here, and I know that in my past I have really gotten real with myself, had to have a lot of come to Jesus talks with myself about what do I need to open up to that I'm not open to now, so that I can move out of this and into that sense of rest internally and with my kids that I want. And I also wanted a lot of other things. Like I wanted to have a lot more fun with my partner. My husband's he's got a big inner child, and he's a really fun person to be around when things are light. When things are light, when I'm light and easy breezy, then we have a lot of fun together. And of course that's easier when you don't have kids in the mix. And then when you have children who have constant needs, that's the part often we shelve. We shelve taking care of ourselves, we shelve listening to our needs, and we put on the shelf that possibility of being playful and easy and having fun. So I'm going to start. Let's see. I want you to check in. I want you to check in and tell me scale of, we did this in the group, scale of 1 to 5. 5 is I hate asking for help. And I'm also going to lump in there, based on the responses, I don't believe I can have the help I need, or so I don't bother asking, or I ask and I become a nag, it just doesn't get done, those kind of things, right? So that's 5, that's the worst end of the scale. 1 is it's easy for me to ask, and home is streamlined and everybody knows what to do and it runs like a well-oiled machine. And if you're there, that's a 1. Or anything in between. So check in and drop your numbers below. I'm looking at comments here. And thankful for those of you who are here and tuning in. Please say hi, no lurking. Say hi, participate, show up. I loved seeing the comments. What I want to know is, where are you on the scale? So how easy or hard is it to ask for what you need and want? I know some people get waylaid in the I don't even know what I need or what I want. And I find that's usually not the whole truth. That's usually a cover story for, I'm afraid of being disappointed. I'm afraid of being betrayed. I've been betrayed in the past. I've been abandoned in the past. It's all on me. So hence the talk today. This talk today is really about those core feelings that we carry around from our early life experiences that really tell us these stories, these truths, lies. Depends on what you subscribe to, that we have to do it all on our own, right? And so in my post this morning, if you saw that one, I shared a little bit about how I used to walk around with, and it's important to say, I did not know that I was holding these beliefs at the time. I'll share two things, what was going on and what was my experience. So my experience that may resonate with some of you is that I was exhausted. I was super edgy, stressed out, irritable, angry, and resentful. Not all the time. I was really, I always feel like I've been a pretty happy person for, even when things are hard. I know how to find the lesson. I know how to find the gift. I know how to find the silver lining. And at the same time, I was that person still when I was going through early motherhood and things were really, really hard. And what was then coming out of me was this anger and irritation about the imbalance. I was seeing inequality everywhere in my relationship. I was seeing my expectations were not a fit for what was possible. Maybe I wasn't sure, or what was going on, what was manifesting. I felt irritated and angry and resentful a lot of the time, and that creates so much toxicity in our bodies. When we are manufacturing those feelings, we are the ones who hold the toxicity, right? It isn't serving anyone else. There's a huge impact to us holding negativity at that level on our children, which I won't go deeply into, but they hold the negativity as well. And they'll try to fix it for mommy. They'll try to make it better. They'll try to, kids can go one of two directions. They'll act out to try to kind of get you to engage and see them and be here now. Some kids will do that, and other kids will go more internal, and they'll take on your belief system and they'll believe that they're not enough. They'll make meaning of it, okay? So I wrote something funny. I wrote, I know enough. I've been a practitioner for a long time, clinician for a long time. I've done a lot of internal work, been to therapy, been to couples therapy. I've done a lot of amazing things to learn about me and a lot of personal development things. And also, I am a product of my environment, of the parenting I received, and of my culture, and of the generation I was born into. And I knew better than to expect my husband to fill my needs. I knew better that I knew enough to know he cannot fill me, that I have to fill me. And yet, you guys, that is not what I was acting like every day. I was walking around secretly to myself, wishing that he would fix everything for me. I knew he couldn't save me or rescue me, and I wished he would rescue me. Do you know what I mean? Tell me if I'm the only one to ever feel this way. Have you caught yourself consciously, cognitively, intellectually? You got it. You got that concept that we are the only ones standing in our way. If you don't have that yet, then I encourage you, really strongly encourage you, to go back through so many of the trainings in this group where I'm really bringing you into awareness of that, of how the self is where all the stuff is. That everything that we think is outside of us is just a projection from what we're holding inside. And those two things will rub up against each other. We will find our trigger points, and we will activate those hurt places inside of us over and over and over again until we heal the hurt places inside of us. Okay? Got it? And it's okay. You know, I want to really offer you that loving voice of the divine, which to me sounds like it's never done. It's never done. The important thing is beginning that relationship with you and taking the steps that are here for you to take. And it will continue to be better as you do these things. As you invest in you, things will get better, and then a new challenge will come. And then you will slay that challenge with your new shiny skills, and then it will get better again, because this is what expansion is like. It gets better again, your relationship improves, communication improves, and then boom, you hit another bump in the road. And guess what? That's a reason to look for the gift and grow again. So all my clients already know this. We're having this conversation on an ongoing basis as they strengthen and grow and come into their light and their bliss. And if you're not here working with me yet, if you're just tuning in and following and listening and starting to open up to this idea that it doesn't have to be so hard, that every day doesn't have to be a struggle, that you don't have to do all the things by yourself or figure everything out by yourself. And by yourself, what I mean is reading every book there is, so shelf help, listening to every free podcast out there on the topic of parenting, on the topic of spirituality, on the topic of self-realization, reading all the Brene, reading all of the books that you can get your hands on. These things are important steps to take in new information. When we have knowledge, we have power. When we study something, we can learn it, we can know it. That's one layer. That's a level or a layer. And then the next level or the next layer is, where the heck am I stuck? Because we'll do all these things. We'll take in information. We will learn, we will try to put it into practice, and then what we get to find out through that experiment is where we plateau. What upper limits are we hitting? And you will see it if you've tried. If you have been on a path of discovering, of self-improvement, of discovering, of stretching, of growing, what you find is that you do a bit of learning, you invest in you, you put things into practice, into play, and then you have a little bit of success, and then what happens? If there's nobody there to look at you and say, here's where you're stuck, what's that's holding you back? Do you really believe that? Is that what you're doing for your highest good? If you don't have that mentor or reflection or coach or expert to guide you through those really, those walls are like, they're walls that come crumbling down in an instant when you have somebody call it out for you. So they're not really walls, but we perceive them as brick walls. And we perceive that reality as a thing that will never get past. So if you feel anxious about asking for what you want, what you need, for good reason, the evidence is there, you get pushback. Somebody says yes and never does it. Your kids ignore you. So that stuff happens, right? That happens. And what does it do to us? When we don't know what to do with that, when we don't know how to change that pattern, we begin to just assume, I guess I have to do it all myself. And that assumption is what creates overwhelm. That assumption so clearly creates a sense of I'm all alone in the world. I can't depend, there's nowhere I can turn. There's no help for me here. There's no real sense of support. I want to see I want to see you click the like button or raise your hand if you have ever had thoughts that sound like that. Nobody's going to help me anyway. Yeah, I'm seeing the 4s and 5s on the comments. You guys tell me if you've ever had thoughts like that. I want to know. And my guess is yes, or you wouldn't be here listening, right? And so when that's in your wiring, when the only assumption that you can make when your kids blow you off or your partner says, yeah, I'll get to that, and never gets to it, and you start to go down that rabbit hole of, oh my God, I'm all alone. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with them? This isn't going to last. This is Groundhog Day. I cannot do this anymore. What I want to say to that is stop, take a pause, interrupt your process, because it's a process. Those thoughts are on a tape loop, and it is creating Groundhog Day for us every day, over and over again, as long as we allow that to happen. So interrupt that thought stream, take a pause, take a breath. Right now, take a breath. And I'm going to share with you what was the realization that I had that shifted everything for me. And why didn't I see it before? Why didn't I see it before? So the interesting piece here is that we kind of get things when we're ready to get them. We have these aha moments when we hit a point where we're not willing to stay in the same everyday struggle that we've been in. And usually what causes that is something very scary happens. So a child will threaten to kill himself or herself. Happens all the time. Talk to moms in here all the time whose kids are threatening to kill themselves, you guys. A partner says, I want divorce. I want to get divorced. I don't want to be with you anymore. I can't handle this. This is too much for me. And I'm out of here. And the fear ripples through you and think, oh my God, how am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? How are we going to live separate lives? I'm going to lose my kids 50% of the time. Happens all the time. I'm talking to women all the time who are there. Or you can't get out of bed for an entire day. You can't get out of bed. You didn't even want to go on. Eventually, what drags you out is knowing that you don't want your kids to go hungry. But there's just almost no desire to go on. That is the breaking open point. And my question is, how uncomfortable, how in pain, how scared do we have to get before we start listening to ourselves, and before we open to our own truth, our own realization that we cannot do this alone. We are not designed to do this alone. And I don't mean, but I live far away from my family, and my partner isn't helpful, or we live near his parents and they suck, or whatever. I don't mean that from other humans. I really mean opening up your heart to receive something bigger. Opening up your heart to receive an abundance of support in whatever form you need it to come in as. Abundance is, it is in all things. It is in the trees in the sky, in the rivers, in the oceans. It's in me, it's in you. It's in the laughter of our kids. It's in miracles every day that are happening all around us. And what we forget, we think we're cut off, we think we're alone, we think that we are separate. We think we're separate from something bigger. And it's just not true. It's not true at all. And what I want to invite you to do is to open up to this idea that says that there is support for me here. And this is my realization. There is support for me here. There are people who know more about where I am and how to get to the other side than I do. It was true then when I was angry and overwhelmed, and it's true now about the things that I am challenged by. I'm no longer in struggle. Thankful to say I burned that boat. I don't need it anymore, and it doesn't serve me anymore. We're doing things because we think that they work for us and they serve us. And it's not until the moment that we take a hard look and we go, is this really serving me and my family? For me to keep trying to do it alone, for me to keep telling myself that nobody understands what I'm going through. Because it's just not true. There are helpers here for all of us. All of us. But we cannot receive the help until we make a decision that we, one, are willing to not keep struggling in the same way every day. That we love ourselves enough to change that story. And two, we're willing to open up to the idea, the reality, the new reality of one where we are fully supported. Of one where, and maybe that manifests for you it can manifest in a million different ways. We live in an infinite universe where I see it manifesting in terms of those of you who are treading water, who are so sick of anxiety controlling you, so tired of letting your life circumstance control the way you feel, right? That you cannot find your own sense of calm or rest inside, that you can't relax. Drop in the comments one word that describes an emotion or a state of being that you really are seeking. What is a way you want to feel every day in motherhood, no matter what's going on, no matter what kid is having a hard day, no matter how unhelpful your partner is. What is the way you want to feel unconditionally, regardless of circumstance, no matter what, as you show up to take care of you, to take care of your family, as you show up to serve, as you show up to live in accordance with your purpose? What is the way you want to feel? Is it fulfilled? Is it calm, relaxed? For me, it's always relaxed. It's excited or relaxed, and I go between the two. I want to feel like I'm doing something important, and I also want to enjoy every minute of it. Is it playful? Is it joyful? Is it connected? Drop in the comments. I want to see. And my realization, really, the core of it really was that what I was seeking was not outside of me. And I couldn't find it without the map. I needed the map. And to get the map, I was going to have to choose to prioritize me, which meant finding the right teachers and choosing to invest in me. It's time, it's energy, it's prioritizing, it's money, it's all of the things that I'm wanting to improve. I'm wanting more energy. I got to put energy into me. I'm wanting more clarity. I got to get clarity about me. I'm wanting more playfulness and fun. I'm going to have to find out how to lighten up. I'm wanting to be free of struggle. I need to find the very best teachers in the world who know how to live on the other side of struggle. Is this making sense? My aha moment was, oh my God, I don't know everything. I don't know everything. Why would I think that I did? Is this something that my mother taught me? Is this a thing that got handed down, that we don't ask for help? That we don't invest in ourselves? Like, what the hell? How do any of us get on a career path? How do we, you guys? How do we gain expertise in what we do? How do we make money in the world? How do we serve and and grow a skill set. How does that happen? Are we born knowing all the things we need to know? Are we born knowing how to be the expert in our field? Are we born knowing everything we need to know to be a professional? To run a company? No. We would never think that. But when it comes to personal development, to how my brain works and how my emotions tick, I'm expecting myself to just have it all, to be able to self-create that. So when I saw that I was doing that to myself, I realized I'm limiting what I can have. I am creating a world in which resentment is normal, struggle is normal, motherhood is hard. That was me. That was where I was. My husband and I were not having much fun, and we weren't really on the same team at all. We were just kind of two ships passing, trying to make a pact about not fighting. And sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. And, kids feel that. They feel all of that. They pick all that up, they internalize it. And what I wanted was to be able to have fun, to play as a family, as a whole family unit, to be able to have a ton of fun and to be able to serve big in the world and help so many other people. But I knew I couldn't do it unless I was in amazing shape, mentally and emotionally and psychologically. I knew I couldn't support my family unless I was happy. I could not help my kids to be happy. And so all of that to say, I was creating my own limitation. I was creating my own kind of glass ceiling. And those were walls I didn't know how to and would never have been able to figure out how to move beyond by myself. So the parallel here is that we perceive that nobody's here to help us, but help is everywhere. Help is everywhere. We perceive nobody can help me. I might as well not even ask. I'm going to get shot down. I'm going to get disappointed. But we haven't actually made the decision yet that it's going to get better, that help is going to show up, and that you're going to do what I need you to do because I need you to do it, because I'm worthy of that respect. Okay, we're going to work together here, and I'm talking about the family. We're going to work together here to run a household that everybody feels good about, right? This is a team effort. We're going to work together. And when you own that level of self-respect, when you own that, because you have healed that piece in you that says, oh my God, I feel like there's not enough, or I'm not enough, or I'm failing. We have to heal that piece. Until we heal that piece, we cannot find that voice that says, okay guys, let's do this. Come on, I need this from you, I need that from you, and we're going to work together, and I love you so much, and I need you to take action on these things. What can I do for you? I love you so much. What do you need? We can't come into alignment with that until we have done our inner work and our healing that elevates us above resentment, that casts out anxiety, and that eliminates overwhelm from our emotional home. Are you getting that? Yes? Tell me yes? No? Tell me your questions. You want peace. You want to feel relaxed. I love it. Are you getting it? Let me look for your comments. Okay. So what we're doing, what you may or may not be doing, is expecting things to be easy when you don't embody the energy of ease. You don't have it in you. But you want the household to run with ease because you want everybody else to do all the things just because you ask them to. Won't work. It won't work. You want your husband to love and appreciate you, or your wife. You want your partner to love and appreciate you, to dote on you, to see what you need, to guess what you need, to rescue and save you from the things that are painful. But you haven't saved yourself, so it can't come in. Do you get that? So it's a less popular opinion. I get it, and I don't care, because I want you to be happy. I want you to understand that you are in charge of your emotions, you're in charge of your thoughts, and that if what you find is you're working overtime trying to control everybody else and everything else, and that's creating a lot of anxiety for you, you can flip that and know that the truth of what's happening inside is, I am out of control of me. If I'm grabbing to get control of everyone else, I'm out of control of me. Okay, you guys? Listen to this a few times too, because there are many layers here. Take what you can, absorb what you can, but listen, there are many layers, and it goes really deep, and just quiet down while you listen and turn off other distractions or listen back, because it's a huge shift what I'm talking about, and it is something that unfolds with help. This is what my clients are doing. I'm introducing you to really big topic here today. And my intention is to awaken some truth in you that says, I'm looking for love in all the wrong places. I'm looking for support in all the wrong places. I'm doing this the wrong way. I'm coming from an energy of lack. I'm coming from an energy of my needs are never going to be met. I'm not worthy of having my needs met. So of course, then it doesn't come through. It doesn't happen from the universe, from life, from your partner, from your kids. The way to be heard and valued and seen is to build that in you first, and that is mandatory, unavoidable step that has to come first. Okay, so we're going to get what we're being. We're going to get back what we're being, and so my area of expertise is emotions, is the psychology, is the mindset. And what we're doing in Awakened Motherhood, which is just an absolutely beautiful movement, and it's becoming an even bigger movement, as is this group and the momentum in here, and what I'm hearing from all of you, that energy that is building around this truth that says we are creating the future for us that we want. We're not creating our mother's motherhood. That's not what we're here to do. We're not here to do it the same way they did it. We are creating the future and calling it in that we want, which means we're going to get uncomfortable. And so are our partners. If your partner isn't getting uncomfortable, you're not doing it right, guys. There's a lot of work to do. And we got to roll up our sleeves. We got to get in there and do it. So for those of you who are entrenched, who are exhausted, who are stuck in anxiety, who are doing way more than the lion's share of what you want to be doing, of what you know is right, but you don't know how to leverage out of that, or those of you who do feel like deeply you're failing, or the wheels are falling off the bus, why wait for it to get more uncomfortable? Why wait for things to get scary? Why wait for the divorce papers to be signed and delivered? Why wait until you are 80 grand in debt from your divorce and now paying for 2 households? Why? Why do we let things get worse when we are in charge? All we have to do is open up to what is here for us. And when we align with that solution, then we have a choice. Do we want to move forward, or do we want to stay where we are? And so where I was really complicit in this belief that the solution had to come through someone else, that the solution was going to come from life itself or my circumstances changing. I was really complicit in that. The minute I called myself out and changed that and realized, it was boom, and I opened to support. And it was such a helpful healing shift for me. And I'm really hoping that that this helps you as well, to shift something in your heart, to awaken to like, I am not designed to do this alone, neither am I designed to do it alone, nor do I have all the answers. We just don't. We would not go and perform surgery without 8 years of training and practice and supervision. We would not do that. We wouldn't do that. But look at what we're doing, what we're expecting of ourselves without the training. So if you're suffering, if you're stuck, my area of expertise is helping women to up level out of anxiety and overwhelm, to make that irrelevant in our lives, to end struggle, to end that motherhood is hard story, and to live in ease, to turn the tap on for joy, to be able to walk around present within ourselves so that it's always available for our kids, to be able to conquer any career goal that we have, push past our inner limitations, and expand into our life purpose without apology and be a great mom. It's all here for us, you guys. It's all here for us. Don't buy the lies that said we can't do it. Oh, you can't have it all. You can't do it all. Let's talk for another day. Hit me up with your questions. Let me see what you've written here. And I'll see if I can answer any. Drop your questions below. I would love, love, love to have this conversation with you to help you see where you're stuck. Reach out to me directly. If you do want the help and support, I offer a free 45-minute clarity call. I can help you identify what's holding you back, what's not working in motherhood the way you want it to right now, and why. Like, what has you stuck? Why haven't you been able to fix this or move it on your own? If you know you need help, if you know you can't do it alone, then hit me up. Let's have a conversation about what's going on with you, and we'll see if I can help you. I may be able to, I may not be able to. It's pretty amazing work that we're doing with my clients, and it's not for everyone in terms of readiness and openness and willingness and life stageness, and that's all cool. And I will help you to assess, first, if I know I can help you, I'll help you to assess your own sort of readiness and time and space to do the awesome healing transformational work that we do. But I can help you figure that out. All right. So much love to all of you. And I'll circle back and answer questions. See you again soon.